I'm telling you the house. You are very easy. Honorable Hansen.
Mr. Speaker of the House. To speak to what is on board now, the appointments of the SRC president. Since JC here said there's no constitutional backing into it as it is.
Order. Honorable, please continue. So these are the people that were nominated, and they have to approve one of them. Thank you. Okay. So let's go by the minute. Yes. We have come with from all right campus. We have Untitled, no campus. We have Regina Asante, no campus. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, honorable members, nominations from the executive committee. We are coming with a member of Hongkong campus, Frank Chati, a member of Wu campus, a student of Wu campus, and Regina Asante, a student of Wu campus. These are the nominations that have been brought to be appointed as acting presidents for the time being. Any submissions to make on that, on the nominations? No, any further nominations from the House? Any further nominations from the House? Yes, Honorable.
Mr. Speaker of the House, I want to nominate Honorable Hagan Queen.
Any further nominations from the House? Honorable Smith, please keep quiet. Thank you very much. Last one. And yes, Honorable Reginald.
The Speaker of the House. Although the appointment, the nomination is flattering for me, I would like to kindly resign for the nomination. I like to resign the nomination. I think resign is a better word. To resign and decline the nomination. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other nomination from the House? Yes, Honorable Irene.
Speaker of the House. Please, I nominate Honorable Enoki Jare on audit committee.
Okay, yes, Honorable Smith. Yes, Honorable Smith. Sorry, I didn't see
I know that the administration is coming to an end, but my work has just begun.
Yes.
So please, I want to focus and able to do my work. Oh, yeah, I'm auditing, and the documents are now coming in. So I can't do both of them at the same time. So please, I have to do them.
Thank you very much. Okay, so without further nominations, now members nominated for the portfolio as acting presidents: William Kwame Wentz, Frank Chati, and Hagan Quinn. Now to the members, we will now have to look at them individually and look at how best they can also serve in that capacity. As an acting president, then if the House have any questions for them individually, they answer, then we now vote for their approval. Honorable Felix. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Speaker of the House. This is my opinion regarding the move for an acting president and all that. Sorry for some members of the executive committee, but initially we were all pushing to organize the election before we had the vote. Sorry. But we were receiving letters from all quarters that we should hand over any power, hand over any power, hand over any power. Some say if we stay, Apollo will influence the elections. So we said, yeah, so because of that, a lot of the elected committee were not into appointing an acting. But here we are. Who will I vote for? Like I said, please, somebody who must have the tough skin to pressure. This work is pressure work. It's pressure. The person's name will be out there. Somebody call him, my brother SIM card is not coming. Somebody's school fees. It's a whole lot of pressure. If you're not careful, you can't even perform it. If you lose focus in class. So those names out there, I'm not trying to influence, but like I said, SRC must work. The person must be ready to take a risk. Risk. The lecturer is teaching, I walk out of the class and respond to calls about SRC. I don't attend some lectures because of SRC. It's a risk, it's a course I took. If not, some of the work we would have achieved some of them. My advice will tell you, how many times can you count the number of times I went to for the bus? Countless. Sometimes I didn't miss lectures the whole day. I took that risk. The person must be willing to walk through the rain. The way I, the speaker, went through the rain. He said, we bought a taxi, rain heavy, to permanent to get this approved. You're asking, you're I'm ready, we walk through the rain and drop it on the name of SRC. So what we achieve is because we are ready to carry the cross. And some of you know in politics, somebody can be 100% efficient and give you only 100% intelligent, 90% intelligent, but efficiency will be 50. Somebody may not give you intelligence of 90%, but is ready to give you 80% of efficiency. I am ready to go. Send me here, I will go. Send me here, we go. That's why in politics we call loyalty. It's dedicated to the cause. It's dedicated. That is the person I will vote for. So when the students have their challenges, it's to start coming soon. School fees, here and there. The person is willing to go to the offices. Those are the things that will inform me because I've walked through this path and I know how deadly it is. When the names of Apollo has invested this, Apollo has done. Sometimes the confusion, the pressure. When I'm sick, families called me. We've seen your name posted here. A whole lot. Even some of my classmates who call me that she forgot about this SI, I come and concentrate in class. No, I go out of parliamentary proceedings. I say honorable member, but we are here for a good cause. If the cause does not follow what the honorable member is raising their hand for, I'm sorry, I'm done. Thank you. Honorable member. Sorry. Thank you. The Speaker of the House. So, from what you said initially, we are going to discuss the candidates individually, whom we second. Okay, so I want to speak briefly about Hagan Queen, who has been represented. Am I allowed? Am I allowed? I want clarity because he said we're going to speak about them individually, so I wanted to just go ahead. Okay, thank you very much. Those colleagues.
So, with the appointment of the executives, I'm sure we have some of the criteria that is needed as elected members to serve, given stated in the Constitution. So, we can look at that one too as well to guide us in the nomination. And I hope, as we are all nominating members, we looked at those criteria. Those that nominate, I hope you looked at those criteria in nominating them. Yeah. So, Honorable Reginald, you said you wanted to. Yes. So you can then talk about your nomination that you will do.
Okay. Thank you very much. Speaker of the House. currently the SRC finds itself in a position students are not really geared to us, and somehow it has been muddied by a lot of ideations and logics and vis-a-vis propaganda. However, we need personalities whose general intent cannot be marked by or cannot be linked to any particular lineage of politics. In this event where we are looking to have them, who is looking to make sure that election is held possible time to take over. We need some interest and not align towards holding or abusing that form of power. However, has the goal to serve students and has also served in various capacities before. Now, Minister has been chaplaincy chair, where he's spiritual matters, the spiritual agency of UMass. Now, we can attest to the fact that he's done so well in terms of his nomination. We can look back to what he set out to achieve, our year of revival, the rebranding of the church. And in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, marshaled enough resources to be able to actually run services in such a way that students were blessed and left their transform and change. Now, these people are people we describe as probably born to lead, and opportunities for them to also reach out to the student population in ways they cannot. Speaking about engagement with management, I mentioned how COVID-19 was a very challenging period. We looked at him take up very, very difficult stance with management. When they refused to give us a auditorium, he still meandered and forced us to have it at action. So we have someone who, on the backbone of management, has seen it all, has been to meetings with registrar, has been to meetings with dean of students. So having engaged all levels of management, he won't be indifferent. He will be indifferent in this position because it also requires that same level of engagement which he is exposed to. And students will easily relate. Now, spiritual like to see a lot. I mean, if you can reason from our chaplaincy service, a lot of people rush me because they respect, honor, and revere the position. I think as we exit, although we have, as already said by our president, by adding this addition to the SRC, it's also a way of rewashing the SRC. Maybe hopefully it will be muddy eventually. Thank you very much.
We ask that you talk, you tell us something small about the which you also brought up, because I'm not sure, I personally, I don't know who we are farming with. I'm sure members also know.
I have worked with, and I can vouch for them. You know, there are a lot of things that we have done that sometimes give glory to the president. The idea to ask management to pray the library on weekends was the idea of Frank, academic committee chair. But he doesn't say it. He's gone to Mr. Nurudi. I'll mention record. Nurudi is the acting academic chair. Now we have a subsequent director of academic, the former secretary to the council. He's been to his office several times to get that done. Today, during the exam, the library was open weekends. He's somebody who can walk through the mud to get it done. Okay? And he's been pushing for the repetition of people who trade courses. But it's becoming a daunting task. And most of the times, I tell you that you're overly ambitious in terms of what it is done, get done for the SRC. He has been at the forefront of ensuring that the recent portal registration where students who have not registered and paid their school fees in full, the register should allow them. Because it's also a member of the Scottish Committee. But look at the Scottish Committee, their composition, led by Ernest, who is not here. The academic committee chair is part, the legal advisor, they all play a huge role. There are a lot of people who pay the school fees, we are allowed to write edit. But one of them is the fact that he does the work, but he doesn't talk. And I remember when he brought academic committee budget, a huge amount of money, I said, boss, relax. That was the lighter side. So, like I said, is somebody who has been a faithful servant of the SRC. Faithful servant of the SRC. There are people who come to serve the SRC, but they use the SRC as a opportunity to project themselves their image. But it's somebody who does things and like he did, but he doesn't talk about it. So his name appearing there, and I had a few comments about people who want to stay in office and wouldn't want to organize the election. I do not think the president has that power to sway the entire next parliament, to sway the other elected executive, the secretary, the federal secretary, the treasurer, to say, well, no, I don't think Patrick will allow that to happen. So it's a matter of them deciding that the election must be organized. The president alone cannot dictate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
The Speaker of the House. So please, I also like to talk about William Parliamentary. Yes. So in some communiques and things that has recently popped up, executives from Hawaii are known as liabilities, and we've heard it quite a couple of times, and we've seen actions towards that. But William is an asset, if I can put it that way. He contested for federal secretary, but unfortunately he didn't win. And it's not because he's one efficient guy, very capable. I've worked with him in the debate club before, and he's very resourceful. So I think the only problem most of us will point out is that he's from Hawaii. And always that's the excuse that people have been given. But I'm from Hawaii myself, and I'm equally working. So I think we should put that aside, and then we should put the human being there, analyze his competencies, his capabilities, what he can do. And when you talk about negotiating with management and other stuff, we have our management also there, and he has been heading so many things. He has been interacting with them. He's very close with our dean of students, and he is good at those things. So we should just, first of all, the first point I want to make is let's put aside the fact that he's from Hawaii, and then let's just put out the whole human being there. And let's kind of thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so thank you very much. Please,
The Speaker of the House. Yeah. So to add to the, what did I say, the campaign about he is my friend. And I'm not saying this because he is a friend. I'm not saying because he's a friend, but it's because I've been in the same class as him for about for 3 years. And this is someone who was able to win the debate, the just ended debate competition, and bring that kind of exposure to our country. Because he's also contested for the, just like you said, the federal SRC. And he even won, he topped the, all the aspirants, right? Something percent, which is like, yes. So for someone to top vetting score of everybody, including the president's position straight down, should tell you how qualified the president is. It should also tell you how intelligent he is. If he's able to win
is for him to come all the way from Howard to for his campaigns back and forth. And he is one humble and very strict guy at the same time. So I believe he is one of the best people for this.
So, quickly, we'll just move on and we'll invite the nominees forward. And then they will just. So, we'll invite the nominees forward. No worries. So,
Let's look at the house. William, coming with his not around. So is it possible that we could call him so that he tells us what he has
yes.
The speaker in the house. As my wife mentioned, the person, and after appointing the person, we have to approve the house has to approve the person. And here is the case that the person can run. So to leave the house if they nominate that person, or how can we approve the person? We've not seen the person too. So the house should consider that.
You were the one who was giving the.
That is, yes, I'm not considering. That's after the information. There are two. I want to let the original, the MSC president know that the president will know about spirituality. It's not about, yes, it's not about you are more spiritual than others. It's about having the vigor, the power, that's what I'm saying. Because we're saying something that Mr. Higan is someone that I want to fly the essence with the foreign and stuff. So I want to have to thank you.
Thank you very much. So, Honorable Senate, I think I would like that. First of all, I'd like you to apologize to the honorable member because I think your words were really harsh. Yes, we all know it's not about spirituality, but then I think your words were really harsh. So kindly render an apology to the honorable member. No, you, please. To our honorable, honorable Hagan. I think, no, in general, we are not supposed to make such comments on the floor. Because I believe that taking up that mantle, you don't know what it takes to be there. Having students and the welfare of students, the spiritual welfare of students on the shoulders, you don't know what it takes to be there. Even you, I only go there. So, I just don't want to go there, but you please, so on your feet, render an apology to the honorable member. So you continue.
I think, yes, to Mr. President or to...
No, I'm Honorable Hagan.
Oh, Mr. Deputy President. I'm very sorry. I was trying to do certain things. Because Honorable was mentioning too much before.
Thank you very much. Kindly take your seat. Honorable Enoch.
Speaker of the House, I think we have nominated people. So the best thing to do is talk about the person. I always say something that you don't need to cut someone's leg that you stand tall or paint someone black to be white. Just talk about your nomination and let everything go. We all here know the other and vote. So please, I think from here, next meeting or wherever you go, if you have an opportunity to appoint someone, speak on behalf of the person. Do not paint someone black to make you look white. So please, something from here. Everywhere you go, let us do what is needed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So, we'll then ask with regards to the nominee for forward. I believe the House can manage with a phone call at least. If the House agrees. Because he's not here, but then we also have to hear from them individually. If we have questions, we ask them. So, if the House agrees that the third nominee, that's the student from Mokwe, will be communicated over the phone, that's fine. But then the two nominees over here will have to step out. So one will have to step forward, and one will have to step out. Please don't go far, so that when we just call you. Honorable Frank, please come forward. Yes, Honorable Hansen.
Sorry, Mr. Speaker, I have a suggestion. The person that is not here, after he has been probably approved, the Chief Justice is here to swear in. To swear in.
The swearing in will be done tomorrow. Honorable Stanley.
Once made, but I want to find out if he has given his consent to the fact that okay, he agrees to be nominated. Because we don't have a situation where you will be nominated at the end of the voting and you cannot invest it.
Okay, so let's deal with those over here. I think we'll try and reach them by the which Honorable Senator is doing that, and from there we can put these questions. Honorable members, my child is the guest house. So, in a minute or two, can you just please tell us about yourself?
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I'm Frank Csic. I'm a medical student at the Bridge. I'm also serving as the Academic Affairs Committee Chairperson. As an Academic Affairs Committee Chairperson, I think I was appointed a year ago, and when I assumed office, in fact, we came to meet an empty office. There was nothing, no document. In fact, to begin with, they didn't give us anything at all that we could begin with. But we took the step to organize our committee in such a way that when we leave office, posterity will judge us for good. And so for that reason, when we came office, anything that we do, we make sure that we leave records. One of the projects that we tried to embark on was actually allowing those students who could not, pass their exams, the receipts, at least. If you are able to carry it forward and write it in the subsequent semester, we believe that we're going to have a lot. And we treat the agenda so much. In fact, actually once, I think Mr. Kobe, he mentioned it here, and the speaker assigned in the agency, and the whole house assigned in the agency, take it up. But I took it up, and I went to the Academic Affairs Committee, the head of Academic Affairs Committee, Academic Affairs Unit, Mr. Nuruddin. In fact, we had several meetings on that. And during our final discussion, he agreed to take it up. In fact, he met a lot of university management authorities, and he actually discussed it with them. But in the end, it looked like the professors were trying to impede that from happening. But we are still trying, because it poses a whole lot of disadvantage to students to be visiting for exams, especially during the second semester when they are supposed to go on meetings. But then we have not left the head, we still keep fighting for the good of the students. The second thing I would like to mention was the creation of the freshers page. In fact, we all know that when you are coming to school, you are here as a fresher, it's very difficult to find your way around. You don't know anything about who, and most of the time people try to take advantage of that to fraud our students. And so initially, when we saw that a lot of students have been at admission quickly, I was able to partner with most of the association presidents, nursing, midwifery, MSc, we created a common WhatsApp page through which we brought all the freshers under one umbrella. so that we could give them direction to the main campus. In fact, most of the students were actually coming to home when they are supposed to be at home, but through that we were able to have them. And also through registration. There are a lot of students who didn't have all the money to pay their admission fees. So they didn't have time to pay their admission fee, they had all the money to pay their admission fees. But then I was able to stand in for them, go to the registrar's office, sometimes to the academic affairs, so that I will write a test and things to make sure that they get registered at the end. Also, we are also pushing for currently, been able to push that. Actually, it's successful because I'm sure that in the next semester we see those changes. You know, as a student of yours, our portal, student portal, when you can't download the web, and also there's no sign, there's nothing indicating that this is actually approved for this university. So when you screenshot it and use it to apply for scholarship, you don't get. So I think this is one of the major reasons why our students don't benefit from scholarships. So they give it to other schools. You apply for Get Fund, you apply for PMBC scholarship, and you don't get. Because there's nothing that to show that this is actually an approved scholarship, whether you can even alter it. So we are working on it to make sure that at least subsequent years, there be a sign somewhere, academic affairs, the head, the director will sign somewhere, so that when you also it will be print out, so that students can print it. So this is the few things I can see, but I wish I have enough time to elaborate on schools of them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so please, questions from the House for the Honorable Member. Yes, Honorable Member.
The Speaker House. Honorable Member, which of the 5 candidates are you supporting? Because the reason I'm asking this question is because you wanted to be the running mate of one, of which I believe most of us here know. So are you still supporting him, or are you still part of him? Or you are neutral now? We want to know so that when the election goes in that person's favor, people wouldn't say that because we appointed you as the president, the person has gotten that much money. Thank you.
Thank you so much for I think this is a question into the future. But I would like to, tackle it. You know, I don't belong to any camp as it stands. I don't belong to any camp. And I have no interest in the election as well. The person I tried rising, there was a betrayal of trust along the lines. I decided to step down, and I have a principle. I'm a principle guy, and when I feel that I can't work with you, I leave. And so that's why I stepped down also. I don't have interest in anything, and if I'm chosen as the SRC president, I will make sure that the elections are organized and we move on. I only have any interest in who become the SRC president. To make sure that the right thing is done, so that at least our SRC will still work. The rule of law will work.
That's fine. Okay, thank you. Honorable, is there a follow-up? Yes, please.
The Speaker is out. Mr. Speaker, I can feel a form of bitterness in the Honorable Member. So, if the election goes against the person who wanted to vice, don't you think it will create problem for us?
Well, I think probably because I'm wearing the mask, you not see my face. Okay, so I think no bitterness. You can call the person in Raja and see each other in Twitter.
Alright, thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Fatal.
Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
Honorable Bank. As an honest member of this House, I know that you very good concern. You know very well that you're private and executive member of. So I want you to tell me, can you say to this House that you have the required CGPE?
Yes, thank you so much for your question. But that's very important.
Please, before you answer that question, I think with this appointment, I believe we will not have to look at the GP or the CGP of the person being appointed, unless the House wants to come to a consensus that those who want to add that. And apart from that, I believe it's not one of the criteria that was stated in the appointment of the officers. I believe we all agree to that one. Unless we all want to come to we all want to make or come to a consensus that we want to use that. But from what I know, it's not stated, so we could skip that question. Any more questions for me? Yes, Honorable.
Respectfully, Mr. Speaker, I bet to differ. We are giving somebody an executive power. People tell me it doesn't matter, They can let somebody 1.0 to come. Please, let's be serious here. If you give somebody as acting president for 1 week, you know the meaning? You are giving power to that person to decide for the student populace for 1 week. It can be any decision. Okay? School fee committee could CVC tomorrow. He will go there and decide for how much we should pay. Or you may not negotiate well, and we get all sort of things. The position should be accepted. I'm sure the fairness of the constitution have a reason for saying 2.0 minimum. The reason is that when you look at this position, if you are a grade A student, if you are not careful, you can drop to E or F. If you are not careful. So I'm sure that's why the fairness of the constitution, you're going to have a lot of pressure. So let's hedge your CBG at certain points. Even when you fall, by the time you leave office, you can still be moving around somewhere. But I think you add a certain level of importance and respect to the office. That because we are appointing, and that's why normally we water down the importance of acting president. Excuse me, you are one shade do but one for now be too. No, let go and have an acting president for almost 1 year. Brilliant, you have met him. So I think that when we are questioning part, we need to ensure that the person reaches that threshold that the constitution makes provision for. So you don't say because I'm in class, you know your GPA 1.8. They say 3.0. You have for 1.8, somebody acting president. Well, thank you. We must insist that yes, you are an active president, but you made a requirement. You are an active, but you made a requirement. Which means that if you had gone for a form, perhaps you would have also gone to that level. But not to water it down so that people begin to look for acting because they cannot make a GPA to become federalized as the contest. You don't want that thing to happen. Thank you very much.
Honorable Felix, I was making reference to the article that talks about the appointments of the executives. So, if we all know how tedious this work is, so as I said earlier, the House feels that we need to look at that, then we can look at that. I was just making reference to the article that was stated, and please, it's still serious business we deal here. No matter the jokes that come alongside, we still deal with serious business. If not, we wouldn't be here. Honorable Leader.
Speaker of the House, if I recall, before President introduced Honorable Franchati, you said that you don't need someone who's academically 90%. Almost 50% who can do the work. So you're going back to say the GPA is important. Please, we don't want back and forth.
I said intelligence.
Yes.
At least academic.
Exactly.
Intelligence.
Exactly.
And intelligence is not just academic book knowledge.
Okay, thank you very much. His Lordship, please.
Speaker of the House, when you read the article, technically, which stipulates the appointment, like you rightly said, it isn't stated categorically that any person nominated for appointment should meet this particular criteria. And the framers of the Constitution, I believe, knew why they put this together. If we want to go by the 3.0 caveat, then as well, all nominees should submit their transcript to Parliament for Parliament to see before we approve. Am I making myself clear? In the Constitution, Article 33, when you read, it doesn't state categorically that you're supposed to meet the 3.0 caveat as in election. Okay, so Parliament can decide if you are going strictly by in the election, then as well, all nominees must submit a verified transcript or statement of results to Parliament before you can approve for the appointment to be done. That is, if you agree to go by the 3.0 caveat. Other than that, now we can't ascertain whether
someone is telling the truth or not. We all knew what happened in the vetting. So unless of course we have a verified document ascertaining your statement of result, that is in Parliament wants to go by the 3.0 caveat. Either than that, the Constitution is silent on the 3.0 caveat.
The Speaker of the House. I think that if we tell the nominees to go for their transcript, they only get it today. And we need it today for us to move on. So, if possible, let's get their index numbers and their portal passwords. As in, Speaker gets their index numbers and passwords. Open into their portals and they look at their CDP, their final CDP.
Okay, so I believe once another member starts saying, that another member will choose to follow us here. So I'll let the questions stand concerning what Honorable Fatal asked about the GPA, so that we just move on quickly with it. Honorable, could you please?
I've been an honorable member of the House, so I'm very sure that you know the requirement for you to be an executive officer of SRC. My question is, do you think you qualify for all those requirements?
All right, thank you so much. Yes, I think I will qualify. Yes, I mean that's an exaggeration, but I mean I'm qualified to go the as long as EPA is concerned, any others. Do you have a question for me?
Yeah, just a question.
Yes, you please go ahead.
Honorable Frank, the Speaker of the House, sorry. Honorable Frank, my question to you is, what will be your immediate goal as acting SRC president for the SRC? What are you looking to achieve if you are given the nod to have this position? What will you do?
Thank you so much, Honorable Reginald. Well, when you say my immediate goal, I think that as a leader, when you assume office, your first goal should be to stabilize the SRC. I mean, you have to stabilize the SRC and get things running. So, I mean, all the offices and like I said, the decision making and everything should be on smoothly. And then I think another goal that is very important is the organization of the elections, so which we also follow. But that will mean that SRC must be working. Like the first deputy is mentioned. You can't give a timeline that this is what you do. You can't actually organize elections. So you must make sure that everything is in place for everything to move on smoothly before you can.
Yes, I follow up with it. So a follow-up question then would be that you are well aware that we had elected executives and you will be appointed. So just a question, wouldn't you be concerned about your immediate goal having to align with your other executives and probably draw a plan of action? It's just a question. Don't you think it's rather important you pass through that channel that goes straight to your form of stabilization, which I don't know what it entails?
Well, when I say stabilization, I mean it's what about? I mean I can't work alone. I mean it's an SRC, so you need to engage other elected executives, and they are elected executives, and they form part of the stabilization. So their offices must be in place. They must be able to move out and down, do their work. I mean, that's how I call stabilization. Yeah, so I will need the elected executive actually account for anything.
The Speaker of the House, mine is not a question to you, but I'm trying to say that we should try and limit the number of questions so that we move on with other stuff too, because we have other stuff also on the agenda. Thank you. So maybe we can decide 5 or 3 questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So you kindly step out and get us the next message. So I still come back to this issue again because as a house we didn't either agree or disagree with it. So still with the Csic issue. Now let's still go with the 3.0 KPI because when previous acting executives they didn't really consider the 3.0 KPI. So are we also going to follow that precedence, or we would like to now consider the 3.0 KPI? If we agree that the GPA, that is the 3.0 KPI, is what we also go by, say aye. If you don't agree, say nay. So the house agrees that we won't go by the 3.0 GPA, but then we have to ensure that whoever is standing for is a good academic standing to deliver the way. So then you can ask, or as Honorable Benjamin said, right from there, they can just come to me here, then we just look at it. Yeah, so there's a laptop here, it's just you and I just verify that, so I don't need to come and tell you if the GPA is this or that, I just need to tell them.
What GPA do you think is academically?
Okay, on our purpose, we are not going to spend that's all. So, yes, it's something like that. Please call me on your page, I'm going to. Whatever that you want the house to know about you.
Good evening once again. I'm Wayne Hagan Kopner, 5th year medicine, and I believe, in fact, I'm not here to talk about any achievements, and I just want to say that I believe this is a time that the SRC needs probably a Daniel or a Joseph to stand up and lead the people. Then again, if I'm to tell you my main vision here, if I'm to be given this opportunity to serve the good people of US, is to work with the current executives, ensure that there's a cordial relationship amongst the candidates, then within the shortest possible time, we get an SRC president to lead the good people of
Thank you very much. So we'd like to ask you some few questions. Anyone have the question?
Speaker of the House. Please, my name is. Yes, my name is. My name is Adam Abdul-Fattah, who produces as Motherhood. My question is that, as an acting executive, when you come into power, what will be your immediate action you want to take for the SRC?
Whatever that you want the house to know about you.
Good evening once again. I'm Wayne Hagan Kopner, fifth year medicine, and I believe, in fact, I'm not here to talk about any achievements, and I just want to say that I believe this is a time that the SRC needs probably a Daniel or a Joseph to stand up and lead the people. Then again, if I'm to tell you my main vision here, if I'm to be given this opportunity to serve the good people of UAS, is to work with the current executives, ensure that there's a cordial relationship amongst the candidates, then within the shortest possible time, we get an SRC president to lead the good people of this institution. The idea is not to come and stay and overstay or abuse power for any personal interest, but the main focus is to ensure that a free and fair election is organized. Thank you very much.
Order in the house. So please, 3 questions quickly, just as the other honorable member. Yes, honorable member.
The Speaker of the House. The Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
Honorable Kemu, you are in level 500. I've worked with Mr. President, who is also a medical student, like a clinical year student, of course. And then he has had a lot of challenges. As in, sometimes he's supposed to go to work, he's supposed to go to the world, but he will leave it and then be walking here and there, moving here and there. Do you think you'll be able to get that time to work for SRC and live your academic work?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. So, by grace, he has come this far. And like I told you earlier, my main aim is not to come thinking of projects. I believe one of the things that made him more busy were some of the projects the SRC needed to accomplish, especially with the school bus. You have to go through a lot of processes. Like I'm telling you, the main aim is just to organize the SRC elections free and fair. If the focus is just to organize an SRC election without projects, I believe we'll be fine.
Next question, please. Next question, please. Any more questions from the house? Any more questions?
We all know you to be a Christian, to be inclined to Christianity. How are you going to polarize Christianity and maybe Islam?
Is that a question?
During our SRC, we wanted to organize Islamic football. But appointing a Daniel who refused to work with someone who is from Islam or something. So how is it work together with him?
Yeah, so now we're going to
I don't know if you know that he's no more the chairman. He has not spoken. So he's not taking any active role. I mean, when it comes to the session, now he's free. So I'm just trying to let you know, if you don't know, that there's already happened. Thank you.
I want to address what he said. First of all, my first question is, are you not a Christian? But then you are working. So what's the issue with him being a Christian and also working? You are vice president, you vice president for a year. You then go to work with Muslims and Christians. So what's the issue here?
From what you said, I understand that you need to come and organize election, nothing else. But so in a situation that there are unforeseen circumstances, organize the election within the shortest possible time. It's not possible. Since you don't have any plans for the SRC, your plan is just to organize elections.
What unforeseen circumstances? Can you give me an example?
Well, I really can't stop. The financial crisis, another problem, something, anything is possible.
I think, if I remember clearly, we're still in our COVID pandemic period. If you are using COVID, we're still in our COVID pandemic when our able SRC president was also elected. So there will be a way forward.
All right, thank you very much. So I think we've exhausted our 3 minutes. So, a question for you.
I've been able to
Thank you very much. So we'd like to ask you some few questions. Anyone have the question? You're gonna find out.
The speaker of the house. Honorable on the phone. Please, my name is Adam Abdul Fattah, who produces as Honorable. My question is that, as an acting executive, when you come into power, what will be your immediate action you want to take for the SRC?
Thank you very much. Any more? Tell him to hold on. Yes.
Do you think that I know that you were an aspirant for the just ended election. So my question is that, don't you think you were supporting one of the figure presidential aspirants that would interfere with you organizing a free and fair election as you claim you want to? The second one is that, do you think the election you lost was free and fair?
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so honorable members, I believe we've heard enough from these people. Other members have also talked about them briefly and all those things.
Please, I'm going to count them. They want their attention. So starting for the number of votes for 1. We have 1.
No, just count and just tell us the number.
Three and 4. So 4 votes for. Wow.
Please, order in the house. Please, order in the house. Please continue.
For 2. Now, 1, 2, and 3. 3 votes for 2. Number 3. Number of votes for number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there were a total of 27 votes. Candidate number 1 had 4 votes. Candidate number 2 had 3 votes.
and candidate number 3 had 20 votes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy. Honorable members, the votes have been done, and thank you very much once again. From the results declared by the EC chairperson, I now pronounce Honorable Higan Kwenu as the approved member to be the acting SRC president. Tomorrow at the handing over, I'm sure the CJ will swear in and work then begins. Work then begins. We have one last item. We have one last item on the agenda. So that is an address from the president. Then we dissolve the parliament. Honorable members, this august house is privileged to have the presence of His Excellency the Federal President of the SRC and Commander-in-Chief of the SRC Army Cadet Corps here in this house this evening. His Excellency the President is here in accordance with the provisions of the SRC Constitution, which mandates him to deliver a message on the state of the SRC to this honorable house. With him, and on behalf of the leadership and honorable members, it is my singular honor to welcome His Excellency Benjamin Ajman, the Vice President of the SRC. With him is Honorable Smith Ebenezer, SRC General Secretary, Honorable Rudolph Sanidays, the SRC Public Relations Officer, Honorable Wainma Eduse, the SRC Treasurer, Honorable Gloria Akpene Abo, the SRC Women's Commissioner. Honorable members, within the chamber, we also have Honorable Julius Okain, the Second Deputy Speaker of the House, Honorable Priscilla Adai, the Clerk of the House, and Honorable Bevelyn Addo, Deputy Clerk to the House. Honorable members, we also have the Chief Justice within the chamber. He is in person of His Lordship, Justice Yeboah Osei Kwame. Honorable members, we also have in our midst the provincial executive officers, Honorable Adam Fatal and Honorable Dennis in our midst. Honorable members, I once again welcome you all to the State of the SRC address. This address is a presentation delivered by the SRC President to the university community and the student populace through the SRC Parliament. This message shall inform us of the progress of the SRC in achieving its aims and objectives, and ultimately seeking the welfare of students. I therefore create the indulgence of members of the House to listen to the presentation so as to make a relevant debate during our subsequent meeting. I once again welcome you all. Honorable members, the Chief Justice of the SRC Judicial Committee is in the House, and I have the privilege to call on His Lordship, the Chief Justice, His Lordship Yeboah Osei Kwame, to deliver a solidarity message to the House. Your Lordship, you may now speak.
Mr. Speaker, His Excellency the President, the Vice President, the Members of Parliament present, all protocols duly observed. I must say I feel elated to stand before you this evening to give a word of solidarity to both the outgoing House and that of the incoming House. I must once again say it hasn't been a smooth sail right from last year when this administration took office till now. There has been a lot of turmoil when it comes to this administration. But thanks be to God who has seen us throughout this one-year journey. I must also commend this House, being the highest decision-making body of the SRC, for your impeccable work when it comes to legislation. I must say that most of the works by this current SRC were good because of how you were able to argue them on the floor of Parliament. Per where I sit as the Chief Justice, let me talk briefly about my duty as the senior most arbiter of the SRC. I mean the Chief Justice of the SRC. My office too hasn't been dormant since we took over office. I must say there are a lot of arbitration which were done closed doors, not in court. And in any civil society or in any family, once in a while, they are supposed to be naturally, one person would have to step on the other's toe. And when such an instance happens, it's my office which comes into play to arbitrate, or better still, resolve amicably such situations. Like I was saying, we've resolved a whole lot of issues which I'm not sure some of you might have been privy to. So to the incoming House, I would want to tell you that the person they are going to appoint and approve as the Chief Justice, I'm sure most of you were thinking, why haven't we seen or heard of several or numerous court hearings? It's not all issues that has to go to court to be resolved. The Constitution gives us the mandate to resolve some issues out of court, just like in our society. Sometimes we need to take it to the elders in the community to resolve such matters, and that is basically what my office as the Chief Justice we did. Most of the cases that came to my office and on my table were resolved amicably without a court hearing. And most importantly was the election petition which has brought us this far. And I'm sure doing due diligence to justice and in the spirit of fairness, the court ruled, which was in fact affirmed by the appeals board decision. Because when you take the two decisions and you juxtapose them, in fact, the both of them mean the same thing. That is to tell you that the court is what up and doing. Because if we hadn't given a good verdict, I'm sure it would have been overruled when it went to the appeals board. So in summary, I would want to wish the incoming House, and let me also use this platform to congratulate them, to the outgoing House. I believe you've done your bit to the development of the SRC. You've done a yeoman's job. You've done what Napoleon couldn't do. And like I always say, we don't have to overlook the little steps we take in life. We should see this as a learning phase. I think when I came to this school in 2016, in second year, I was appointed to be a justice. And that was unprecedented. It has never happened that a second year would be appointed to be a justice. And since then, I've always seen myself to be learning, even till now. any position I occupy, I see to it that I learn something within that office. I don't see myself to be a boss over people. And I would want to suggest this book to all of us. If you haven't read it, The 48 Laws of Power. If you haven't really read it, please get a copy and read it. It will really help you in your leadership life. So once again, congrats to Mr. President, congrats to Right Honorable, congrats to all the other executives, and to the UHA student who has helped this administration to this far. I would want to say that this administration wouldn't have come this far without you. And I want to tell you that God richly bless you for how far you brought this administration. Of course, most of the criticisms were constructive ones, which I believe that the executives took them in good faith, worked on them, and it has brought us this far. I'm sure when the president takes this podium, he will tell us about what the 2020-2021 administration has been able to achieve as an executive board. To the incoming house, I wish you the best of luck, and may the good Lord bless you. Thank you.
Go back a little bit. Go back a little bit. I will remove my nose mask. Respectfully, let's sit down. Let's sit down. Let's sit down. The state of the affairs of the USSRC, as addressed by Felix Kojo Apalu, the outgoing Federal SRC president of our noble institution, on Saturday, 28 September 2021, at Medical Block C01. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of Parliament, His Lordship, the Chief Justice, the distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and to me, I've always said many times that the good students of this university are the reason why we are where we are. And they will continue, and they must continue to be the reason why we aspire to occupy this position. To all our eminent viewers, thank you very much for your time. Mr. Speaker said earlier that this is my second address. Sorry, this is my first address, and it's going to be the last. Usually it should be two addresses end of each semester, because of the COVID and the restrictions on social gathering, I decided to lump them together. We don't have to be gathering and all kind of stuff. So this is my first and the last. This administration took over office on the 14th August 2020. This administration took over the helms of SRC on 14th August 2020. So, and we promised the good students of this university a lot. But first and foremost, I would like to give a holistic, summarized state of the affairs of the SRC. And first of all, I would like to look at administrative structure, because what is the current state of the SRC in terms of administration? Ideally, the Constitution makes provision for us to have provincial executives, but the Constitution does not make or give enough power to these provincial executives to exercise their power. So usually it appears the work is being done by only the federal executive. But I must commend this administration, because the provincial executives of both campuses have done a yeoman job. They've done a great work. So I think that this group or crop of provincial executives we've had have defied the odds. So administratively, the federal executive officers are supposed to play supervisory role. So if there is an issue, if you look at the algorithm of the SRC, if there is an issue, the first people that should look at should be the committee chairpersons. If they are not able to handle it, it should be the provincial executives, based on which campus the problem is occurring. So if it's a whole campus issue, should address the whole provincial president. Then if they are not able to tackle it, then you can move to the vice and the president. But in reality, I wake up in the morning, somebody called me, my Vodafone SIM card is not working. Somebody called me, the Davel Park is weedy. President, we need a mower to go and mow it. The first point of call should have been the sports committee chairperson. If not able to address it, they move to what? Honorable Fatao, who is the head of the province here. So it means there are a lot of students who don't know the structure of the SRC. So if you are a student of yours and you are listening to me, please, the state of your SRC is such that when you have an issue, look for the committee, the head of the committee responsible for that issue, tackle it. If you're not successful, look for provincial executives. Then if you're not successful, you can move to the federal executives. So this is how the structure of the SRC works. And I also like to touch on what I term as SRC versus management. Let me be specific here. The office of the Dean of Students, in fact, there are students who don't even know where the office of the Dean of Students is. It's very unfortunate. The most powerful office, so far as the work of SRC is concerned, is the office of the Dean of Students. State of the SRC, I'm telling you how your SRC functions, is very, very important. So the Dean, 90% of the issues that the SRC tackles can be solved through the office of the Dean of Students easy. So for me, my advice to the incoming executives is that the most powerful barrier ahead of you is the Dean of Students. If he disapproves, hardly will VC overturn it. So I will advise the good students of our university to ensure that they make good use of the office of the Dean of Students. Very, very important. Then I also like to tackle and try please. I advise our students to try and read. The university has statutes of the university. It's a book. You go to the office of the Dean of Students or academic affairs unit, you get a copy. It tells you the various powers of the university. Very, very important. So if you read Statute 37 of the Fundamental Laws of US 2019, it defines the role of the dean clearly there. So that's how it works. So see student as one body, see management as one body. In between these two bodies is the Dean of Students. So the D is an appendage of management. It's an appendage of management because it's appointed by management. But the SRC will represent the student. Management does its work. But if we want to get to management, we must pass through the dean. So it's quite dicey because sometimes there may be some tricky issues. You wouldn't expect the Dean of Students to be on your side. But don't be surprised if the dean finds himself on the side of management. Don't be surprised. So those are some of the technicalities. So your leader, as a leader, you must know how to meander this curve. Very, very important. That you will not make headway. So let me finish by telling you that so far as SRC is considered the most powerful person is the Dean of Students. You take it for granted, write in your diary. You remember one day. The finance of the SRC relies heavily on its dues. How do we get the dues? If a student does not pay 100% of the fees, we don't get the dues. So it means all those who owe school fees 2020 academy have not paid SRC dues. That's the meaning. It's one of the challenges that SRC faces. So I must commend this administration that we really work hard, that we're able to generate a lot of IGF, over 25,000, through sales of the various souvenirs and all that SRC to support that. So holistically, your source of income for the SRC remains the SRC dues. And I want to also commend this house for taking the bold decision. When I say bold decision, it's quite harsh. People say we increase the dues by 100%. But like I said, generations will come and they'll be grateful for us receiving the insult and taking the bullet for them. Withdrawal of money from SRC coffers. Please, the SRC president does not carry the SRC account in his pocket. So those who go around writing things on pages just because they want to tarnish the image of Apalu, this is how you get money from SRC coffers. The committees and whatever executive committee have to prepare a budget. The highest decision-making body of the House, which is the SRC Parliamentary, approve it after several debates. Then it goes to the Dean of Students. He will approve it. Then it goes to Mr. Gregory, the senior accountant who is signating to the SRC account. He approves it before the treasurer goes to withdraw. So there is no way you can take one CD from the SRC account without passing through this channel. So viewers, the SRC account is not in the pocket of the SRC president. SRC has two main bank accounts. When you pay your SRC dues, they don't go directly into the SRC account. It all goes into the bigger pool which management controls. So that's why you pay the dues as part of your fees. We only get the money upon request. So the SRC president will request it to pass through all the channels, that they will transfer the money into our main account, which we are signatory to. Not entirely. There are people in money who are also signatory to ensure there are checks and balances. So this is how your SRC functions. You pay your dues into management account, and based on whether you have paid 100% or not. So if it's in my class, if it's 10 people who pay in full, it means only 10 at the time I'm making a request. 10 times 100 cedis. Then they will transfer into the main SRC account. So if you pay school fee is 1,000 and you pay 800 cedis, management will not give us the 100 cedis until you pay full. So that is the politics that the SRC president faces, because in one breath you are asking the Dean of Students, we need a registrar, we want fund to do project. Then she wants to sack people for owing school fees. The same person, you go to her office, please don't sack them. You say you need money to do project. I want to sack people to bring money. You say they should write the exam and go. So please, when you say administration, what have they done? What have they done? You the one say, what have they done? Have you paid your fees in full? So that's how it is. So SRC does not control its money directly, transfer from the main account into our SRC account. Then we have two bank accounts, one at ADB, where the management transfers our request onto. Then we have one now as Access Bank, where the SRC hostel that we are running now, they pay the money into. We didn't create that account. It was created by, I think, 2016, 2017, actually His Excellency Power Administration's time, when they used to have the SRC hostel, now Alex D. That's why they created. But it became defunct because we were no longer dormant, as it were, because we were no longer having a hostel. So when we were, instead of creating a new account, we reactivated it. So that's what we are using now. And also in terms of signatures, per the Constitution, the Dean of Students, the President, and the Treasurer are supposed to be signatories to the account. But at the time that the Constitution was being crafted, adopted, we didn't have Dean of Students. So recently that we had Dean of Students, Dr. Abai became the first Dean of Students. So because that they couldn't capture it as it's supposed to be, so Mr. Gregory is a senior accountant on account. So I'm hoping that in the review of the Constitution, we need to take him out, because now we have a Dean of Students. So it will be Dean, President, and a Treasurer. So our Treasurer now only withdraws. She doesn't sign check, which is an anomaly that must be corrected. Then what are the assets that we inherited? When we came into office 2020, we inherited a printing press on both campuses. Both were non-functional. We inherited a shopping mall container. When you go to the city auditorium at the main campus, there's a container in the bush currently being used by food vendors. It belongs to the SRC. It's not for management. It belongs to the SRC. We also inherited a sound system which is currently lying at the mercy of the weather around E02B Dave Hostel. And it's not working. It was bought by His Excellent Direct Administration, but all the components are damaged. We inherited SRC Club lab code, then like I said, bank accounts. Then we also inherited debts, as we're also going to leave debts. We inherited 1,488 Ghana cedis being the arrears that the SRC owe management for operating the printing press. So we are supposed to be paying a token, as it were, to management every month, but for the past 3 years, it has never been paid. So we owe management 1,488 Ghana cedis. And this parliament must capture that and we pay before we leave. Then, per the record I have, when we were coming to power, His Excellency Norma gave us that document that we were supposed to pay him. It tells you that it's not as easy getting money. So I'm sure they needed money, they didn't have it, and didn't have to help them. And that's what we also do sometimes. When the money doesn't come, we have to look for elsewhere and pre-finance. Later on we get it, and the SRC will be stuck. So those are the things that we inherited. I mentioned that. Now, what are we leaving behind? Assets to be bequeathed to the incoming executives. We are leaving behind a brand new 30-seater coaster bus behind. And I must say that there's a lot of debt to be paid on that bus. Because at the time that we made a request to ADB, we didn't have enough money. So we could offer 20%, ADB agreed to pre-finance 80%. And the 20% interest rate was the best we could get in the market, because in this COVID-stricken era, every bank wants to restrict their money so that their cash flow will still be. But because of the relationship that we've had with ADB over the years, they agreed to support us. Then the revamped Huawei canteen, campus canteen, we don't own completely, but we invested heavily into it. We are leaving it behind. So the SRC also has a responsibility to ensure that it is properly maintained, so we don't waste student resources. We are leaving behind SRC, 5-star SRC hostel. The SRC does not own the hostel. It belongs to one Mr. Noah Salah, a renowned electrical engineer. The agreement was that we will manage it, and he has a portion he takes from the money that the student pay. All those things are documented. I must emphasize that we are not taking home any SRC document. I must say that as I sit here, the interest, the progress of the SRC is my interest. And we don't intend to leave power and pray that those who come after us fail. Because some believe that if you fail, then they become popular, they can be renowned. They are the most achieved ever in the history of the SRC. We will not do that. It's our prayer that those who come after you do far, far better, because the sky is the limit. And like Honorable Audit Committee said, you don't have to paint somebody black to look white. And you don't have to wish somebody to fail before you can be called a successful person. So all the documents are available, we'll hand over to them. Then, of course, we're also leaving behind trophies. Trophies, 2 trophies. SRC never had any trophy. The office there is empty. But we negotiated, we acquired 2 trophies. One for football, one for volleyball. All donated by the benevolence of Professor John Wusu Japon, our indefatigable Vice Chancellor, and the able-bodied Director of Institute of Health Research, Professor Margaret Japon. They donated the trophy for us. So again, those coming, you need to know how to lobby, negotiate. Certain things you can get them for free for the SRC. It's not everything we have to be buying. So we leave those trophies behind. Then we also put in place certain administrative structures. One, we feel that the SRC is an institution. Institutions must not be personalized. Like the former president of the United States said, we build strong institutions, but not strong individuals. So we feel that SRC must do business with official receipt. So we created receipt. So it's our hope that those who come, please don't be selling items SRC, collecting money into your pocket without receipt. It creates certain doubt to those students buying from us. Look, we are not serious. We collect their money and put in your pocket without receipt. No, it's unacceptable. Even leaving that door, when you buy Coke, they give you receipt. We create official Momo accounts. Again, people were using their personal. No, it's unacceptable. It doesn't help auditing. So we have the Momo account. I think we've already given it to the incoming treasurer. They're going to use it for SRC business transactions. Motivation for the SRC executives, thank God, is not enough. But like President Kufuor said, if you pretend to pay people, they pretend to work. So, you know, coming to Csic the whole day, your allowance is 20 Ghana cedis. If that's the motivation for me to come to Parliament, you'll never see me. You never see me. There are people who work, whether you pay them or not, but there are others, whether you like it or not. Money is an intrinsic motivation. So let us not pretend to pay people. So we move it from 20 cedis to 30 cedis, step by step. Our speaker used to take 20 cedis. Imagine, Speaker of Parliament, 20 Ghana cedis as a sitting allowance. But we have moved it to 50 Ghana, at least, small. The deputies are taking 40, our clerks are taking 40. It's small. Because you see our beautiful clerks, if you see even their hairdo alone, will cost you 1,000 cedis. And you're giving them 40 cedis. So I'm hoping the next, those administration, maybe they can add something small to it. That will not be bad. Good. So it's a way of, because I don't think those who are coming are going to reduce it back to 20. I don't think they will ever do that. So at least we also lay a mark for that. And of course, we need to motivate students. So that's why we produce the Spiral Notebook. 6,000 copies, and every student is supposed to get one. Every student is supposed to get one. And the reason being that they should see the evidence, I see something in their hand that, oh, excuse my language, I paid dues. And the SRC has given me pen, has given me pencil, something small. So it's our prayer that it will become something annual, that every year we give them some souvenir as evidence of the payment. The misuse. Let us get this clear that we are competing with other universities. How do we project US SRC outside? The last time I counted, I exist on over 100 pages. I'm on pages other students from other universities. In fact, last time we met, Nook's president was telling me that, hey, your SRC president is even sharing the win of Miss US pictures on our Nooks. I'm asking, this is Nooks. What are you going to do with US SRC? I am proud of the position I occupy. I try to project the best. We've marketed US SRC to the world. As I speak now, there is nobody who doesn't have heard about US SRC. I'm proud of US SRC. And that is the spirit that we are everybody. So we invested a lot, and I must congratulate Wukom. It was not easy. And I'm sure most of you are aware of what we went to organize Miss US. It's all because we want to project the SRC. And all the people who have associated Miss US, they are very proud of what we have done, the brand Miss US, and it has come to stay. I also must congratulate UCOM that we have a comprehensive policy on Miss US. Because when we wrote letter to certain company, they want to know the policy. Look, for the SRC to attract sponsorship, let me lay it bare. Not until we rebrand the SRC. Forget it. Some companies will never want to associate with you. You Google US SRC, what else do you see? So every solid thing we do, we want it to be on the internet. Let people, when you Google US SRC, see something beautiful about it. The companies know that, oh, if I sponsor you people with 5,000 Ghana, I can get some media mileage. Thank God that's why we have US-based TV. It's not for any reason. So we are in hope, but we want to cut the attention of US. We want to cut the attention of Israel. We want to cut the attention of the whole world. That is why we have US-based TV. So I want to congratulate Mr. Date and his team, Julius Okine, Christiana. The list is many. I love these people so much. You know, sometimes I love people, but I don't show it much. Because growing up, like I always say, I suffered a lot. I've seen extreme poverty. That's why I work like a bull. And my greatest enemy remains poverty, not the devil. Because you cannot defeat the devil without the hand of God. But you can defeat poverty through dint of hard work. That's my belief. So like I said, we increase SRC dues to give financial mojo or strength to the SRC. So now people can begin to think big. We want to build hostel. And we also have a solid partnership for US Global FM. That partnership is still there. So they've agreed that whenever we want to do programs outside on TV, we can come to them. This administration was able to negotiate that. Whole teaching hospital, blood donation, fantastic. 97 units of blood free to help. And we said, whenever our students need blood, they should try and support them. And I must congratulate Honorable Fadil, the outgoing Health and Sanitation Committee chair, now the local NUCS elect, fantastic guy, who have worked so hard to ensure that now he could take a blood from here to home municipal for students who needed blood. This is what we want to do. Then, having said all this, the blood donation, of course, in 97, Hawkeye contributed about 20 something plus. That's one school is able to give us 22 units of blood. It means they've taken almost 1/3, if I must correct, 1/3 or something like that. They've done well. So I must commend Honorable Dennis and his charges for doing a real man job. I'm very happy that I have a fantastic men and women to work with. But I know sometimes I can be very harsh, honestly speaking. Like I said, it's not easy. It's not easy. But thank God that we've sailed through. Unfinished businesses. The Dean of Students will tell you, Apalu, you break down. You can't do everything. Leave some for others to come and do. And because you look at the litany of things this guy wants to achieve, you know, you can't do this in one academic year. So, Vodafone Ghana bus terminal, we've negotiated that sponsorship, they've agreed. So next year they'll capture into their corporate social responsibility budget. So those who are coming, you follow up to get that. They'll come and build the bus terminal at permanent site. Ultra modern bus terminal that can accommodate 150 students at a go, waiting for the metro mans, reading their books, cross their legs, relax. They will do that for us. Trafalgar Auditorium, for those who have insulted us that Trafalgar Auditorium in a bad shape, why are we not doing? We walk. Ask Dean, ask Mr. Susu, will tell you. There is no office that we have not basically invaded. There's a plan, management has a plan to revamp the canteen. So those who come up should take it up. Yeah. So we couldn't finish on it. So management to revamp the auditorium. Payment of the SRC coastal bus interest. Like I said, this administration, we committed almost more than 60% of our dues available to us towards the coastal bus. The bus you see that I'm sure is very expensive, 5 billion plus old Ghana. But it's not that ordinary bus we have here. I'm sure most of you have seen. This is original Japan-made coastal, but this is what the Ministry of Health normally uses. You can see that it's different from what money he has. You can see they carry everything. That's when you mention coastal, you mention Japan. So you're having an original bus. And the payment is such that, the contract is that we agreed to make part of the payments. So what are our commitments? We said that because we do not want to make the certain administration's life difficult for them, we spread the payment. Because we are purchasing the bus, we have to do much more. So this is second semester. At the end of every semester, we pay an amount to ADB. But at the end of every semester, every student will be asked to pay their school fees because they may sack you from exam and all that. So when it's the early part of the semester, you will make the work of the SRC administration difficult. So at the end of the semester, they pay part. So an administration will make 2 bullet payments. So we are making 1 bullet payment this semester because this is when the contract starts. Beyond that, we are the one paying the 20% fiscal cash of it. It's at 103,000 plus. Meaning we are paying 20% of the 1 billion, 5 billion. So we are paying 1 billion plus. Then again, per the condition of the bus, we need to create a BIP account, 20,000 put in it. It is not for EDBs, for us. It's like, that's how we don't have land, we don't have any collateral. So the 20,000 is a collateral, but it's for us. In case we default, they need to fall on something and take their money back. But when we don't default, at the end of the 6 semesters, it's 3 years, 36 months. So meaning 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, 6 months. They are done. So per the calculation, 2021, 22 our administration, we made our full first semester payment, this semester payment, plus the 20% total cash of the bus. The comprehensive insurance has been done by us, and comprehensive is 25% of the total cost of the car. It's roughly 36 or 37,000. We have paid it. So the car is comprehensive insurance. Then we also made a 20,000 BIP account. DVLA registration, expended everything. We have done it. So when you calculate, we've spent almost close to 2.something billion of our dues towards the bus. So the next administrations, they will continue. Of course, we are not taking the bus away. So if you look at it, who finished the last bullet payment? We have done one, making 11.5. So next administration will do 2. That's 2021, 2022 will do 2. 2022, 2023 will do 2 bullet payments. Then 2023, 2024, they will do the last one. Because it's odd now, we have done 1, so it's 5. 2, 2, 1. So by the end of 2024, we take full ownership of the bus. And after 3 years, that bus will still be brand new and still be moving. Because if it's those owned by management, some are 8 years, and despite the bad nature of our road, they are still moving like something. And the expert that bus can last over 15 years. Costa. Over 15 years. So maybe our children will come and meet the bus. Then review of the SRC constitution. So unfinished business. Because we didn't have much time, we couldn't review the constitution. So those coming now, there are a lot of loopholes in the constitution. We are entreating them that it's advisable that they look at it and then review the constitution. Then again, we'll be able to achieve at least weekend operation of the libraries. We want it to be permanent feature of our calendar. So please, those coming up, try and work on it. Then I'll end by saying challenges facing the SRC. Challenges facing the SRC. Yeah. And like, my able-bodied vice president just whispered into my ears that, the printing press, I'm not yet to actually mention our achievement, because it's obvious, everybody knows what we have achieved as an administration. Okay. We've managed the printing press throughout the year without any problem, because we developed a business model, and we are willing to pass on that business model to our incoming executives. Some of them are pretty much working for administration, so they know what we have done. So it's not much of consultation. They just have to continue and add to the new executives that they are going to work with. Challenges facing our SRC. The printing press, we are supposed to do extension as a secretariat, because SRC does not have a secretariat. So you do an extension. I've had that discussion with the whole provincial president. We've done a lot of working on it, but because of the bus, we have to forego those projects. We'll create an extension as a secretariat. You open it, you push shelves there, tile it, everything, fund everything nicely, which means that official meetings of the SRC should not be held in the SRC office, but we can have secretariat. Students go there and lodge complaint, buy items and go nicely. So the SRC office may becomes where you keep confidential documents. So some of the contract documents, I have it in my hostel. I can't keep them there. If the bus contract, somebody comes to steal it, that means we lost everything. So because 5 people have keys, I don't know who will come in there next time. So I've taken them to my home. Listen, I'll hand over to the next. Our advisor also keep in his room. Don't keep it there, unless he's ready to take all the remaining 4 keys. Because somebody has to answer questions when things are missing. So those are some of the things that you need to look at. So the incoming can create the secretariat. Honorable members can go with a small fridge. You can't even get water to drink. Sorry to say so. So a small fridge, everything nicely. Receipt, reception, everything nicely. Alumni can come. Oh, this is the SRC secretariat for the meantime. You get it. We've met so many companies who want to build hostel for our BOT arrangement. But when we came, financial issues were not good. Because any company that want to build hostel for the SRC, the first question they ask you, how many are you? What's your population? How much is your dues? Think about those 2 questions. And you know where they are heading to. How much money do you have for me to build hostel for you? Can you pay back? Good. So our Highness Cities now has given us a hedge, and there are companies who want to come and help us. Challenges facing the SRC, human resource. Let me be frank. The biggest challenge facing the SRC is not management. Let me be specific here. It's the SRC itself has a problem. We don't have enough competent people coming forward to man the SRC. Look at the portfolio, a whole university, treasurer, unopposed. Other people are good, they don't want to come forward. The SRC is not attractive. That's why we made it attractive. I think this is the first time we have 5 people contest for federal SRC presidential portfolio. 5. Why? Because we've made the SRC attractive. Once you have more assets to be managed, more people will come forward. That's the secret. Because there's something to handle. Okay? So, maybe in the future, we will have 3 people contesting for treasurer, 3 people contesting for provincial president. The dean will say, we need to create more jobs for the boys. So, to get a speaker of parliament in any of our sister universities, they don't need to struggle. If you take the best law student in K University, you should get a good speaker. If you need the best student of law in K University, you get a good chief justice. We don't have it here. But we all have students. That's one of the disadvantages we have. To get a treasurer in K University, go for the best economic student. He can take on management in economic issues. But we don't have it here. I am speaking from experience. Because I've been there. So you go there, they mention some value, certain things, you don't know about accounting. You don't know anything about accounting. So they can dictate you, they can tell you what you must obey. But if you send economic and accounting student, maybe business school there, he's going to tell them, no, boss, this is not this. But the accounting principle is ABCD. So they look for people who are gurus in those areas to put there. We don't have it. You are now health, you are reading eyes, health, just health. Checking vitals, doing so many things. So it's the biggest. And when you realize your challenge, you see how to address it. So therefore, before you compare your SRC with that of KNUST, UJ, any sister universities, ask yourself, what programs do they offer there? These are limitations. What's the way forward? The way forward is that we need to rely heavily on some institutions or universities to help us. So sometimes Gregory takes us through some accounting principles. When you want to go on some contract you don't know, go to them for advice. They'll help you. So the bus purchasing, we need to seek counsel from the school lawyer. So the school lawyer guided us. But if you go to JIMPA or law school, in any of, you have law schools in the SRC, and they will look at the constitution. So those are the limitations that we need. Then a lot of students have apathy towards the SRC, which we need to work on. Then respect for SRC structures. You see, when I came here, people say, we elect you to go and fight management. If you are listening to me, please, you don't fight management. Because you can't fight management and you can't win that battle. But our advice, engage management. Engage management. Because when you engage management, you achieve far more than fighting them. So let's remove that phrase, go and fight management. So people can giddy campaigning. When I go, I'll fight management. SRC beyond intimidation. Who is intimidating SRC? Nobody. Sorry, I must say I have a good relationship with VC. I have a good relationship with, there is nobody in management, I have a good relationship with them. But that's why we have achieved a lot. Because you need them. You need Dr. Dodu to get this done. So you don't go and be insulting and fighting Dr. Dodu. It's not possible. Don't try that. So, in conclusion, I want to encourage our fellow students that look, no matter how dirty our house is, we don't need outsiders to clean it for us. We have to clean it. So people writing letters to people with VC, copy VC directly and co, please. Let's use our internal structures to solve our problem as SRC. Those who say management, I've heard many people, management is controlling the SRC. Management controlling SRC. Management is not controlling SRC. Even if they are doing it, you are the one who gives them the right to do it. Because you can't solve your problem. SRC has laid down structures. If you have issue, go to court. If you have issue, go here. Petition parliament. People bypass all of them. Somebody told me, I wrote a letter to register that I wanted to use the auditorium to organize a program. He didn't inform the SRC. He didn't write it through Dean. I met him and I told him, you go and come back and meet me. The letter got there. I don't think the register even read that letter. University will operate by structure. So let me tell you, your father can be the VC, but he will never bend the structure of the university because you are the son. Never. Because this is an academic society. They don't joke with laws. So thank you very much, the good student of yours. COVID came, but COVID did not prevent us from achieving what achieved. On this day, I want to congratulate this August house. This is the busiest house ever in the history of this university. Wonderful clerks, wonderful federal executive, Honorable Smith. We've done so much. For those that we have stepped on their toes, or maybe personally, since I'm the one doing the address, I have stepped on their toes. Please, forgive me. Forgive me. When you go to church, please pray for me. We are not enemies, but we took some of the decisions because of the interest of you as SRC. We try to be very, very professional. So thank you very much. God bless you as SRC. God bless you as SRC, and only you as SRC. Thank you very much.
I'll seize this opportunity to thank the President for fulfilling his constitutional responsibility to the student populace and being with us. Honorable members, we will quickly proceed to the last item on our agenda before we end or we dissolve the Parliament. Kindly resume your seats. Any other business from honorable members to be treated by the House? Yes. So I have before me a motion filed by Honorable Prince Anuchuka, seconded by Honorable Priscilla Sabu. And I read, any appointment made by the executive officers when the President as acting will be made an acting committee chairperson. Then also, any acting committee chairpersons may be maintained or changed when federal president is elected in consultation with the executive committee. Honorable Pensela, please enlighten us more on this motion.
Filing the motion. This August House had just approved or nominated one of our members to be the acting president for the time being. And for matters of the school to continue, there should be a parliament which would undertake events until the whole house is the house is complete. So if this appointed president comes, he would appoint members which will be acting until we have our federal president being elected. I will make reference to His Excellency Felix Akwano. When he came into office, he appointed people he thinks can work as achieve our aims. So if the appointed president comes, he comes to nominate a group of people who are undertaking events. I don't think it will be fair on the one who will be elected into office to work with these people, since appointment of these members were not done in consultation with him and his team.
Okay, please either. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Smith.
Again, now, we talked this issue. We discussed about this long time ago. And then I think the honorable here is very hard again, talking about appointment. Of course, the main agenda of the acting president is come and organize election vote. So what appointment of committee to do what? I mean, the president just said it here that his main agenda is to organize election anyway. So appointing committee for what again. So Mr. Speaker, I think he's drawing us back. Let's move forward and then let's end the parliamentary. Let's go. Thank you.
Honorable member, so are you trying to tell me that if this president we have appointed now is sworn in tomorrow, and then issues come up for the House to decide, he will leave them and wait until the federal president?
I believe, honorable members, I saw this myself. I believe that our mandate now is to really get somebody to act in the capacity of the SRC president, and if possible, or within the shortest possible time, organize the SRC elections for us. Looking at that, if issues come up, which may be necessary that there must be a parliament constituted, I believe since he's been appointed, approved by this House, he can act in that capacity to appoint members of the House. And I think that should be a default parliament. So it wouldn't be only him appointing. I think it will be in consultation with the rest of the elected executive officers. In the end, even if the president comes into play, I'm sure on that meeting, the president and his vice will still have to which the rest will still be more than. So I believe we can just leave this for the next administration to take care of that. Unless honorable members do not see that way. Honorable members, I hope I'm making myself clear. Do we all agree to that? Yeah. Now, Felix, a follow-up or?
Yes. An issue I have with what you just raised.
Okay.
Respectful Mr. Speaker, if I get the honorable member very well, what I foresee, what I made a comment that we don't want to tie the hands towards SRC, is what I think it features in the question sheet, the motion she just filed. Because we are waiting for federal SRC president to come, therefore all activities of SRC must be halted. Is that the picture we are painting? Is that the picture?
That's the question I was trying, that's why I found the question.
No, Mr. Speaker, respectfully, honorable members here. Honorable members here. Yes, the Honorable His Excellency, the acting president, said is organized to come to organize an election. But the functions of our SRC is not just about elections. It's not just about election. Is it just coming to cross his leg? Election. SRC must function. So in my mind, unless somebody I forgot, in your mind is that the next administration is going to have a full operational apparatus. They must have full operational apparatus. Unless of course you are suspended because the president, in any case, is the federal president who can appoint. We have over 19 people, only one person we are waiting for. All of us should keep waiting. When is he coming? So when people are litigating, we should still be waiting. That's why I made a comment earlier that I didn't raise my hand to approve any CI. And I stand to be correct because when I leave, people should remember I never supported the approval of CI. They will let it be on record. Because when it happened, they said, when you left power, see what people left behind. I don't want to put it. SRC must move and move together with the election. If it happens, one month, fantastic. But we can't be waiting for them. No. Committees must work. Executive alone work. Sports committee chair must exist. Speaker must be there. Then they pass it. If they don't have a full house, how do they even come talking about running the election and putting budget?
So, thank you very much, Mr. President. So, as I said earlier, our duty or our job has been done. That is by getting somebody to act in the capacity of the SRC president. He will then come and take over the administrative functions of the SRC. It is up to him. It is definitely going to be that he will set up a parliament, but then it is up to them. So whatever that it is, they have elected officers, other elected officers as well, who will join in the decision making. So let's all take note. So for that matter, it is up to them to decide. Thank you. Any other matter to be discussed. Okay.
Scholarship. Yes. The scholarship, this house approved an amount for scholarship. Students have filed, they've applied, some have cost several times. So some of you know people who have applied, they've been calling here and there and all that. So we requested for some funds, it was not enough. But I don't think this house has forgotten about the scholarship. Has the house forgotten about the scholarship? Or we should throw it away? No, I'm saying, I'm just asking.
No, we've not forgotten.
We've not forgotten. So, the house, as the scholarship committee has streamlined the numbers. So I have here about 30 students. Most of them are also in final year. And the soft copy will be made available on the parliamentary page. And the amounts that each of them is supposed to be giving, totally 25,761 Ghana cedis, 25,000. We budgeted for 25,761. That's total. Some are taking 1,000 cedis, some are taking 500, some are taking 1,500, some 800, some 500. Some of them they owe 500 cedis. Because we are delaying, their parents gave them some money to make parts and all that. So they are still hanging. So, honorable members, the house is dissolving. Should we push and send it for Dean so that their accounts will be credited? It's up to the house. Should we approve it?
So I think, honorable, I think we approved this from the beginning. So once we have once we began, we have to finish it. So yes, so it has to be pushed for the Dean to approve.
So it's 25,000 because we made a lot of expenditure into it, so we can only afford. So this is what we have now, 25,000.
That is fine. Good. I hope those students have been notified at least, so that they know they are the ones going to receive it.
Yeah, some of them know. Some of them know, but we haven't published this yet. Okay. Because we took some people out. When we're delaying, some paid. These people still, they haven't paid. These people, so we'll publish it. Okay. Yeah. We'll just write the check, then they'll send it to finance. And finance will look at their names and credit their various amounts at their account based on how much they've allocated.
Thank you very much.
Then the last one is what I read in my speech, that we need to clear this debt. The electricity that we owe management, the operation of the printing press, I've said it here, 1448. Then also the amount we owe Dr. Abai is 400 cedis. We'll pay him. How's agreed?
Okay, thank you very much.
Now I'm saying this because when I appear before audit and they say, when did you pay this electricity? It shouldn't be like, I just sat down and because I could have money, I'm going to pay them. You get it?
Yeah, I think in one of our sittings we discussed that the electricity bills.
So all of them will be clear.
Thank you very much.
So I'm done. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Honorable and Mr.
Mr. Speaker of the House, as we are in Parliament today, I heard all committee heads and any other individual that has received money from the SRC or perform any duty on behalf of SRC with required fund for SRC to make documents and receipts available so we can do the auditing. And please, the documents should be submitted as soon as possible to help us the audit process. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, it's been a long day and we would like...
Mr. Speaker, the last one. Reminder. Mr. Speaker, because auditor is here, so if Parliament hasn't approved, you go and use it, there will be trouble. So we don't want any trouble, so we have to wait. Yes.
Okay, so still about our Blue Pass beauty queens. Yes, as part of their packages, since we couldn't get them as much as we wanted to, we wanted to add 3 years of the SRC club each to the 3 winners. They are happy, so we want the house to at least approve it. They are not given yet, so we want to put it before the house so that they can consider it and then we give them these items.
3 years.
3 years each.
That's 3 people.
For 3 people.
So, honorable members, I think it's before us. They have suggested that each winner for the Miss Universe will receive 3 years of the SRC club each. Do we agree to that?
Yeah.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Then, you're not looking interested in this graduate?
Yeah.
No, it's gracia. No. There's an experiment book. We have started distribution to the sandwich student. Okay, so we want every student to get it first before we start sharing. So we have a few copies to be left. Okay, a few copies. Because we asked the company to produce more than the 6,000. So the house will decide. I forgot, Honorable Fatawu, one of you said about GA members getting some.
Yes.
How many GA members do you have? How many are they? Are they many? How many? Are they more than 20?
Yes.
More than 20. GA members are more than 20.
Those who have been helping and said like when they are
because we are thinking of giving 2020 to each GA.
So you can hand it over to the basis. You determine.
One. Each person one. Or it's too much.
they should document the names of people they need.
Yes, for auditing.
Okay,
So we want to give 20 copies.
Okay,
Let me do it. Let's do a bundle. I think a bundle is 50. A bundle is so our regular is 25. A bundle is 50, right? So we'll give a bundle 25 to each province.
The province, okay.
Yeah, 25.
Then for parliamentarians.
So parliamentarians, those who are absentees, what? Oh, Tabi, I'm not looking at you. What? So should we give how many? What is our population? And we have how many? Are we 40? How many are with the house? Total. No, parliament. So each person take one copy or 2 or 2. How many should we take? 1 or 2? His Excellency Hagar, how many should we take? No, he went to organize only the election, so. How many copies? 6. 3. 8.
Well,
we are 49.
Yeah, the count here is 49.
49. That's 2 times 2. That will be 90. Roughly 100. 2 bundles. So each member, let the house, each member will take 2.
Yes, the local
no, so I think they are part of the GA, so the 25 to
local news executive, where do they belong?
They are wonderful.
So I think it's actually the president that is part.
Only president is part, but they have president.
Their president is in parliament.
Forget hardworking deputy chair. We have deputy chair who said more than he been actually.
They are part of GA.
They are part of GA.
They are not part of GA.
We give them citation, no one.
So let the house decide. Deputies.
The deputies are 2, 1 or 1 hohoing.
No, yeah, the deputies are 2.
I'm not saying give it to all the deputies, but then we have deputies who said were very well and were hardworking.
So what we'll do is that. Those who are deputies, we take them upon recommendation. Let's give them one copy. I know your deputy is very hardworking. Some of us is very hardworking. And then slide.
Yes,
Slide also very
Okay, so thank you very much. So, honorable members, please,
so 2 copies for each parliamentarian, including the Nooks, treasurer, and secretary. Right, very good. Then 1 for 25 for GA, 25 for GA.
okay.
When are we getting them? Tomorrow?
So what will happen is that tomorrow we'll create a special book in the SRC office. SRC is a member of parliament, come and take a sign. Then the GA2, you come for them, then they also sign, as the auditor said, they also sign. So 25. Then US-based TV, 2 for Richard. Richard is a member of parliament, we take 2. And every member of the US-based TV will take 1.
So me, I'll take double.
That's fine. Honorable President, yes, thank you very much. Yes, so quickly, as audit committee is doing its work, we will also ask that the House appoint 1 person to audit the audit committee chairperson, which is the watchman. So please, honorable members can nominate someone quickly who will also audit the audit committee chairperson or the audit committee. Quickly, please. This one, just quickly. Any honorable member? Yes, honorable Smith.
Speaker of the House, I have nominate Honorable Priscilla. Yes.
Does the House agree that Honorable Priscilla will be the one to also audit the audit committee?
Can I nominate myself?
I thought you nominated someone.
Yes, by the president, but I want to nominate myself.
Okay, so
I therefore nominate myself. Thank you.
yes, honorable Dennis.
The Speaker of the House. I believe the audit committee chairperson would attest to the fact that he is not doing the work alone. So if we are nominating only Honorable Priscilla and Smith has been nominated himself, the workload might be too much. So I suggest we nominate 3 people. Or that's my suggestion. Thank you.
So that means 1 person for you. So Article 69 clause 2, accounts of the audit committee shall be audited and reported upon by an auditor appointed by the SRC Parliament. So then 1 nomination for this. So Honorable Priscilla, please, you've been nominated as an auditor to audit the audit committee. Please, do you accept the nomination? I accept. Does the House agree to the nomination?
Yeah.
Thank you, Honorable Priscilla. You are now our auditor who audits the audit committee. Quiet, please. Honorable members, I now have the opportunity and the honor to deliver my speech as the Right Honorable Speaker of this august chamber. Speaks delivered by Right Honorable Samuel Lamansaki on Tuesday, September 28, 2021 at the last parliamentary sitting of the 4th Parliamentary Chamber of UHAS Parliament House, SRC, in the second semester of the 2020-2021 academic year on the event of the dissolution of the chamber. Honorable members, executive officers, honorable members, His Lordship, distinguished guests, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen. On this day, we mark the end of the 4th chamber of UHAS Parliament House. 12 months have passed since we first gathered here as a house with members from different places having different ideologies. And now we are here to draw the curtains on what has been an interesting year so far. It's been a year full of actions. It's been a year full of actions, suspense, arguments, joy, and contentions. Also, a year of hard work, dedication, sacrifice, and delivery of our promises, even in the midst of much criticisms. In all, we have conquered, we have survived, and we have achieved great things. It is my utmost joy to have led this august house and served you and the good students of UHAS. I'm very honored to have worked with you all. To the God Almighty, I am grateful for His divine guidance and wisdom through this period. To my able deputy speakers, I say thank you for your support and counsel. To my wonderful clerks, I say thank you for the hard work and effort put in making the leadership of this house a great one. A special thank you to the executive officers for their commitment and hard work. To the Judicial Committee, I say thank you for your just and diligent work. Not forgetting you all, my able honorable members, I say Aiko for your hard work, commitment, and support in making this parliamentary chamber a success. Now to all the students of UHAS that had faith and confidence and exercised patience during the time of service, them that believed in the vision we had and supported us effortlessly in attaining that, we say a big thank you. To the new administration, I entreat you all to be diligent in your service to the good students of UHAS and also offer your very best in making the SRC much better. I wish you all the best of luck in your tenure of office, and may our Father in heaven grant you grace and divine wisdom in your leadership. Thank you. Honorable members, by the power vested in me as the Right Honorable Speaker of the 4th Chamber of UHAS Parliament House, this House, by Article 13, Clause 2, honorable members, will now, I would ask a member to move a motion for the dissolution of the Parliament. Yes, Honorable Benjamin.
The Speaker of the House. I, Adman Benjamin, move for the dissolution of this House. Thank you.
Any second, Honorable Stanley.
Yes. I, Stanley, I second the motion for the dissolution of the House.
This House, by Article 13, Clause 2 of the UHAS SRC Constitution, now stands dissolved at 8:12 p.m. Thank you very much. Okay, so honorable member, if you can lead us then. Please lead us. So honorable members, let's rise for prayers. We are praying. Oh God, the eternal Father, we are indeed grateful for this day. We thank you so much for good health that we enjoy. We thank you for all the blessings that you have granted upon us. We thank you so much for having a successful session. And we as members of this house, we say thank you for a successful parliamentary chamber. We pray, even as we leave, may you continue to be with us. Even as we leave, may those that take over from us, may they be blessed and may they continue to do their good work. We humbly ask of these things in Jesus' name. Amen. We'll now take photos and we'll now take photos. Yes, and please don't leave your bottles here. Tomorrow the handing over is at 5 p.m. at the medical block. The flyers are being circulated. Continue to share it around. So that means one person for you. So